today we have my Jacqueline Hillier Elm. It's a dwarf variety elm. Nice small leaves. It's nice compact. This was one I was worried about just because it evidently didn't know it's very late. So very late it seems, at least mine was very late to come out of dormancy, so I was worried it was dead. It hadn't survived winter, but it survived just fine. The only thing I didn't like about it was it burst out long on the thing, and then it's a lot of dormant buds still here that I would have liked to burst out, but hopefully if I cut it back they'll maybe burst out. But it gives it a little leggy growth. I did some on this last year, but I didn't do no big styling, just kind of cutting it back some. A few of the branches died, like this branch died. This one I had wired and it died. This stuff just exploded down below. So first we're going to do, I'm just going to cut off any of the dead branches that we don't need because they're dead. Get this off. This is... I'm still not sure if I'm keeping this bottom part. I had kept it in the idea of keeping it as like a second trunk coming up. Still might do that, but I don't know yet. I think that's it. We will rotate it around and show you what it looks like. Get some of this seeds from trees that have fallen on it. Okay. Now, my idea, this is the, let's see, yeah, about here's the front. It's got a nice, the branch has a little bit of movement here, and then I want this to come out and move this way. What I'm thinking of getting rid of is this. I don't think this really adds anything to the tree. It's just kind of an extra thing right here at this area. I mean, it is a little lower, so it's not like right with the other two branches, but I think it moves too. I'd have to remove this at least, because this is just coming out right at the viewer, so I don't think that would work. And I don't really like the line of it coming up and going out this way. I think it's better the line of it going this way and then this out here where it was cut off. So that we're going to get rid of right now. We're going to get rid of that altogether. And yes, I think that looks much better that way. If we want a branch on this side, I have two small branches starting, which I think would work better just because this is lower than that one. That was too, like I said, a little too high to this. I think a branch here might work, so we will keep those two and see how they develop and see if we want them. But I'm not going to remove them now. But I think, yeah, I think that works better for the line of it. I'm just going to clean it up just a little bit on this other side. It's actually, there was a little branch cut off on these sides. So I just took that out to let this heal better. This is healing up where the branch, where the trunk was cut at one time. I didn't do that, that was done. These are healing up nicely over it. I think we shouldn't have any problem with that healing all up and looking fine in some years. I'm trying to decide if it needs to we'll leave it. We'll see what it does. I don't think it needs to be any cleaned up, and it'll eventually heal over. We will put paste on this afterwards. So next, we're gonna tackle this bottom part. If I'm keeping this, this is going to go because it crosses the main trunk. We don't need it. These two here will go. Okay, look at this. Okay, we don't need, you know what, I'm trying to decide if I'm going to keep some of these. I might want to keep some of these lower branches on the main trunk. Just there's too many of them, but that one off. Clean up some of these. Don't buds. Grow. We don't need anything growing in here. I'm just cleaning some of this stuff up so it'll heal over better. Okay. And there's that. We got a bunch of these in here. We don't need a lot of these, but I'm thinking at least one will help. Let one grow out. It'll help thicken the trunk up, because this trunk doesn't have a lot of taper, which it could use. These will help with taper a little bit, and then some of these smaller ones will help with taper down the bottom. I'm just deciding what ones come out. I think I'll take that off. And those two are close together. I will take, no, I think I will take these off in favor of this smaller one, this lower one. Leave this one at the bottom to grow. Here. And this is a sucker coming away from the bottom. We don't need that. And one in the back here we don't need. So I'll leave that one branch to grow out, and that'll just be a sacrificial branch eventually. Leave some stuff up on the back here. Then we have some branches back here. I think I'll keep one of these. I'll keep this lower one here. Again, to help some taper. Try to get some taper on this. Let this grow out and then cut it off eventually. Okay. Now we have this to think about. Trying to look at it. I don't know if I want any more to have. I don't really know if I want a lower. Let's see. It looks better. Let's work on this. See if we want to get rid of it or not. I know I don't want these front branches now. They're just out front. They won't do any good for us. This is growing out of the soil. This could be eventually wired up with a new leader. Get rid of that. This is another one. This is not. I know I'm not using that. That's too low. I don't think we want that either. Just come here and get rid of this. It's hard to clean up here. Better trying to clean it up with these. Yeah, I did a better job of cleaning it up just because the angle, I couldn't get in there. There's a stump here, but I'll clean that up the next time. I don't want to mess these up trying to cut that out. It's kind of below the soil, so I can cut that, I can clean that up the next time. If I keep this, I can keep that, I can cut that off the next time I repot. Now let me take a look at this and see if I like this. This is up. I still kind of like the, I still like the second trunk myself. So for now we're going to keep it. We're probably going to try to wire this up a little bit, but we will keep it. And then we're going to also get rid of this branch back here. I don't think I need that. Yeah, I think these two branches will do for now. I'm going to keep it. So let's get a little bit of thin wire. Piece here. So we're going to wire this up as if we're going to keep it. Like I said, still like lose this second branch, but for now I kind of like it. So it will never hurt anything. Seeing it's growing below the soil anyways, so we're going to hurt anything to keep it for now. But I do want to give this branch a little more of an upright look to it. Clean this up a little bit so it'll heal over a little cleaner and look better. And this might get wired down a little more when it could be wired. It's really too small to wire right now. So what we got so far for the bottom part. We got this. We got the curve here, and then it comes out that way. So we'll see what that turns up. Now we have to take care of the top. One branch I see on the top that I think needs to be come out is this one here. There are 3 branches coming out in the same place. And you only want 2 divisions. You don't want more than 2 divisions, unless say you're doing a broom style or something. You want a big canopy. You'll have more branches coming out at one spot. Like it would be here, and it just had a lot of stuff. But normally we don't want 3 branches in one spot, and this is 3 branches. And from what I'm seeing, this will be the one that goes, because it's growing inwards into these branches, which will be here staying, so they don't need to be. Like you said, it's growing into the center of the tree. This will most likely be the leader, and then this might be eventually brought down a little bit. So get rid of this branch. And I had cut a branch off here before, which I am going to clean up a little bit. Or it broke, or might have broke. It might have been a broken branch off that way it looks. I don't want this branch back here. It's growing underneath, so that's no use. Good for us. We got two branches back here, which could make good. One of them could make a good back branch. So I'm gonna take this one off, and for now we will leave this. Probably not. I mean, I'm gonna keep it for now in case I do decide to put it, but I don't think so. This will probably. This is slightly lower than that one, but it would still be kind of a. Get rid of that little branch here. No, we don't need that either. That's not going to help us. Okay. Let's look at this for now. This might end up getting bent in the future back further because it is forward if we keep it. Now I'm not going to mess with it. It'll still, I don't think it'll get to where it can't be bent back. It doesn't need to be bent back a lot. So we'll keep that on the back burners for now. It might be easier when I pot it into a better pot to do it then, just because it's going under, it's low. I find it's easier to wire something like this and wire the stuff down onto into the thing a little easier than trying to push a piece of wire in there. So we'll keep that for there. All of this top, most of this top is a little leggy. So. Okay, I'm going to wire this down. I'm going to get a piece of wire. I'm going to wire this down a little bit. See if anything else needs to be wired when I do that. I don't see anything else that needs to be wired right now. I think I'll wire that down before I go any further, just to help me figure out what's going on here. Just wire this up the tree. So. This piece of wire might be a little bit of an overkill, but I don't think the next stuff I have would be. Let's just get the dead branch in here, clean out. I just don't think the next size down, I think the next size down would be too thin for this branch to work. So I'm using this stuff. The excess here. Cut anything here. There's that. We will bring this branch not down much, just kind of down a little bit. Bring that line a little more down than up that I had going there. As you can see. And then we will work on this branch next. I don't need, I could probably, trying to decide if I want to keep that. If I keep it, it's got to eventually be wired down. It's too, I don't want to wire this yet. It's too new to wire, so trying to decide, clip it off. Right now I'll leave it. And we will clip this branch going up off. We will also cut a small branch going up. Get this little branch going down out of here. This is going straight down. Spread that a little, those two a little apart. In the future, this one might have to be twisted a little bit. It's a little twisted that way. Yeah, this one, I'm going to keep this one, but it's going to eventually need to be wired into a better position. But it's, like I said, it's all green. You don't really want to try to wire a green wire. A green. You don't want to really try to wire a green branch. They're too thin. They're not thick enough when they're that thin. Actually cut. Let's see what we got here. Got two branches coming out this way. Nothing coming out this side. So we got a branch. We got a leaf there. So that's for that. That is not in a good. That's not. Well, we are going to cut back to this dormant. There is a dormant bud on this little piece that I cut off. You can see it. There's a dormant bud that hopefully will come out in the future. Get rid of some of these leaves. Close in just to make the. You got a little bud here, so hopefully that'll bud out and put a branch this way instead of just this branch. If not, we'll just cut it back. And this will maybe bend that a different way. Yeah, and that'll go there. You know what? Let's wire that up with a thin piece of wire. Okay, there'll be a little break in the video. I hit my limit on the video length, so it cut off. But just wiring this up this side, and get this branch. This I can cut off now. Put that there. We'll worry about that branch later. I just wanted the anchoring point for this. Bring this over this way. Cut it off. You might actually be able to do, might actually be able to twist this branch. Aha, yes. Okay. I'm going to bring it into place. This down. I can bring this down a little more. What I was able to do is twist that branch just enough to bring this branch down. Still might need some wiring in the future, but it has brought that branch down some now. So now this piece I actually cut off this wire, see if it makes a difference. No, there's just kind of crink in the what we're going to do is put... Oh, I see why it is. Okay, we're just going to leave that for now. It might straighten out. Clean that up. We'll get rid of a little branch underneath here. I didn't notice before. Get rid of that. And this will have to be wired up a little bit on the end, but this is too new, too green to really wire yet. And then this might have to be, I don't know, it's got a weird thing. It comes down because of the way the branch, how the branch comes off and everything, but that can be worked on later. Okay. No. I think we will move this wire here. I'm thinking, this branch interferes with this branch. This branch I don't think I want, because this is going to be the leader, and I don't need that coming up if this is going to be the leader. And I don't see the tree being much taller than it is anyways. I don't think I need, okay, that I don't think I need. So, we are going to, for now I'm going to cut it back to an outward facing dormant bud that's down here and see if it buds out. If it doesn't, we'll remove it altogether. But this might make a better branch than having this, and we might get rid of this. And for now, we are going to trim this back to an outward facing bud. So this actually, so it's not interfering as much with that, we will bend it just a little bit forward. The wire we put on it, that's part of the reason we wired it, to get it into a better position. These are funny just because they're new. They'll need to be wired, but they're too young to wire yet, I think. Okay. So we got this. This, we don't need this big long section coming up here. That is too long. So we will pick the new leader from these. I think it'll be this back branch here. Flip it off. That should grow up and be the new leader. This branch we don't need, and it just grows inwards. This one we don't need. I'll leave two of these, we might use them. These little ones. This. No, we'll remove this. That. Yeah, that'll be good for now. We'll leave what's there for now, except for this. I think this is too low. Okay. Next we come back to these back stuff. We had already done this part here, so we don't need to mess with that. seeing we're thinking about building this out, I'll leave this where it is. We'll just do some trimming back to see what we got in here. This is too long, so we'll clip it back to there and let that work there. We don't want these branches so long. A lot of them are just too long. This one I'll bring back to here. I'm trying to bring them back to live stuff. I might bring them back further for ramification later if they bud back. They back bud on some of these dormant buds, which a lot of them look like they could bud back, so we should be good on that. This one we're gonna cut it back to these two buds on the side. I'll leave both of those. Again, might get trimmed back some. Yep. Looks good for now. That is the Jacqueline Hillier Elm for now. I think it's in a good place. We'll see if it does some back budding for me. Doesn't need a lot of back budding. It could use, some of the branches are a little long. They could use bringing back a little bit. But we'll let it grow for now, see what happens. So if you enjoyed, like, subscribe, hit the bell, and we will see you next time.